Okay, we have come to the last section or segment of SA1 Practice Paper 2, Explanation and Solutions. Right, let's continue to stay focused. Question 21. Where is cell K and cell L produced? So cell K is sperm. So sperms are produced. No, not in penis. So 2 and 3 are wrong. But in testis. So we have ovary and the womb. We know that the womb is where the fetus develops. Okay, so ovary, answer number 1. Okay, answer here number 1. Okay, pretty simple. Question 22. Bobby wanted to find out if overcrowding affects the growth. He placed some seeds belonging to plant A into 2 identical pots. Which are the variables to be kept the same? Okay, we talked about fair test in the previous question. Okay, let me just scroll up to remind you of which question it is. Okay, we spoke about fair test in over here, question number 11. We spoke about fair test. So we say that fair tests are, it's about keeping every variable the same except for the one that we test. So what are we test? How to test for overcrowding? Okay, type of soil, probably we'll keep it the same. Number of seeds, if we put a lot of seeds together, it's very crowded. Put very little or very few seeds together, it's less crowded. Okay, so probably we want to change this. Location of the plant must be the same, and the amount of water must be the same. Right, so in this case the water is not for germination, or rather it's for germination. Right, because we are talking about on seeds, germination. So notice that water can be used for living, when the seeds have germinated, or in this case it's also a component of germination. So answer, keep the same, A, C and D, number 3. Okay, number 3. Okay, next. Which one will not germinate? Once again, it's germination. Germination does not require sunlight. Okay, germination doesn't require sunlight, but it requires warmth. Let's cross out all the irrelevant ones. Dry cotton wool. So we know that A and D are out. So we have here damp cotton wool, black box, but doesn't mean no warmth. So this is okay. Okay, anyway, B and C, we have the answer, number 3. Is it number 3? Wrong, Wrong, because we are talking about will not germinate. Okay, so B and C will germinate. Be very careful with such questions, because for MCQ question, we have to read very carefully to know whether we are looking at the not. Okay, so B and C, B will germinate. B will germinate. That gives us answer 2. To A and D. Okay, A and D will not germinate. Okay, question number 24. Which of the following are common to both reproduction in plants and animals? Pollination occurs before fertilization. Yes, it's correct. But this is only applicable for plants. Okay, realize that the question is asking for both. So A is definitely wrong. And with that, we eliminate all the answers with A. That gives us answer number 2. Okay. So both male and female reproductive parts, yes, fertilization occurs when the male reproductive cell fuses. Okay, let's use this. Okay, let's elaborate a little. Now, what is fertilization? If we want to talk about fertilization, basically it is the same as fusion of male sex cell and female sex cell. Okay, that's what fertilization means. Alright, the fusion of both the male and the female sex cell. Okay, now fertilization, fertilization is not the same as reproduction. I notice in your work that many of you write, oh, so reproduction cannot occur. No, we do not want to talk about reproduction, but rather we want to talk about fertilization. Okay, so if you are asked, why it doesn't develop into a fruit, why it doesn't develop into a baby, that's because fertilization does not occur, and it's not reproduction does not occur. Okay, take note of that. Now, question number 25, which one of the following is correct? Alright, absorption of nutrients. We know that large intestine is out because that's water. Involved in the digestion of nutrients in food, that's absorption. So digestion, large intestine doesn't digest, so answer number 4. Okay, large intestine is to absorb water. Okay, for this question, refer back to practice paper 1, booklet B. We had a discussion on that. Okay, question 26 is another question that I noticed some of you got it wrong. The capacity of a sealed glass container is 600. That means it can contain up to 600 centimeter cube of air or water. Now it contains 100 centimeter cube of water. That means that the remaining space inside or volume is 500 cubic centimeter. Now A and B are pushed in completely. 20 centimeter cube of air, 30 centimeter cube of air are added in from pistol A and B. What is the volume of the air in the container? Now, what is this question talking about? Okay, it's talking about air can be compressed. Now, many of you in your answer, you like to use air occupies space. But this is certainly not an experiment to test about that. Yeah, air occupies space, that's correct. No, but in this case, we are talking about having many having a few having pistols, pushing in air into the container. Alright, so the volume of air, because air can be compressed, we are talking about the amount of space inside will always be 500 cubic centimeter. Alright, and that means that now the volume of air is 500 centimeter cube. Right, because air can be compressed, and that's the whole idea here. Right, so suppose we pushed in 30, 10 times of 20, 10 times of 30, it's 500. The 11th time, because air can be compressed, the volume of air inside will still be 500. Okay, hope this clarifies. Now question number 27. When Alice got out of the swimming pool, she felt cold and shivered. Yeah, this was the question, last question of practice paper 1. Okay, why? This is because the body loses heat. The body loses heat. Loses heat, not loses water to the environment. Answer number 1. Okay, this is the answer. Okay, we spoke about it in practice paper 1. Now, question 28 is another favorite question on shadow. Now, he arranged 4 sheets in a straight line. Okay, light travels in a straight line. We must know that. When the lamp is turned on, a bright patch is seen on only sheet C, which means the star is here. You can see a patch here. Which of the following describe the property? Obviously, C, if it allows the star to be shown, maybe I draw a star instead, that must mean that it is opaque, doesn't allow light to pass through. C doesn't allow. Alright, so D is not possible to tell. Okay, we don't know whether it allows or not. Okay, we cannot tell at all. Alright, so number 1 is wrong because we can tell that C is actually no light passes through. Right, now D. B, there is a hole and you see a star. That means B also does not allow light to pass through. So we know that B also does not allow. Okay, because if B allows light to pass through, then we won't be seeing the star, but we will be seeing almost the entire light source. Right? Now, if light passes through the hole only, doesn't pass through B, can we tell whether light passes through A or not? That's the question, right? Okay, so which one allow most light to pass through? We know that C doesn't allow light to pass through. B doesn't allow light to pass through. Alright, so we are left with 1 and 2. Okay, 1 and 2. So over here, A allows most light to pass through. Which one does not allow light to pass through? Okay, C is definitely correct. So answer 2. Okay, answer number 2. Now, if you are still not very sure of this question, this is my suggestion. Find 2 cardboards. So cardboard B, cardboard C, and cut a hole through cardboard B. Alright, you'll realize that B and C do not allow light to pass through. And then we have 2 as the answer. Okay, think through my explanation. Question 29. Crystal saw a grasshopper and a ladybird and wanted to find out whether they are insects. Okay, so what do we know about insects? This is a question about testing you about insects. Observe if animals have wing. Is wing a characteristic of an insect? Okay, no. For us to tell whether it's an insect, we look at 3 body parts. 3 body parts, and then we also look at the number of legs, right? 6 legs. So these are the key things to take note of. So measure the body length. Observe that it has 3 body parts. So D is correct. Okay, D must be there. So 1 and 2 is wrong. Count the number of legs. We want to count the number of legs. Correct, C. Okay, observe a wing or not. Help her to conclude. Yeah, we cannot conclude with number 4. Because whether an insect has wing or not, like ant. An ant is an insect. Okay, so maybe I'll write it here. An ant is an insect, but an ant does not have wings. So A is wrong. So this guys gives us an answer 3. Okay, so remember the example. An ant is an insect, but it doesn't have wings. Okay, we've come to the final question. Magnets. Okay, Raymond placed 4 objects near a pole of a magnet. Over here. So when he places G is attracted, so magnetic material. Repulsion. Okay, so the whole idea of magnetism is that repulsion takes place if and only if this is a magnet. Okay, repulsion only takes place if we have 2 magnets. So H must be a magnet. Okay, J has no reaction, so this is a non-magnetic material. And it's attracted once again. It is a magnet. It can also be a magnetic material. Alright, so let's do elimination. Okay, J is non-magnetic. Correct. But over here they says H and J are non-magnetic. Wrong. H and J. Okay, H and J are non-magnetic. Wrong. Okay, let's look again. H is magnetic. Wrong. Because H can repel. H is a magnet. Okay, H is a magnet. So we are left with 1 and 4. Okay, 1 and 4. Now, number 1 says G, H, K are magnets. But G is attracted by magnet. We cannot tell because G doesn't repel magnet. Okay, so this is wrong. G may not be a magnet because G can be a magnetic material. So with that, we have conclusion. G and K are magnetic. H is magnet. J is non-magnetic. Answer number 4. Okay, and with that, we have completed the practice paper 2 and the respective explanations to the question. Happy learning, review, look through. I think these are important concepts that we must know before SA1 exam. And all the best. Bye.